Northern madtom is a small catfish that lives in typically in shallower water, but has been observed in the Detroit River in deeper water in Lake St. Clair, also near Pesh Island. It's about 13 centimeters in length. It's also known for its pointy dorsal fin and pec fins. Pec fins actually has a poisonous gland that can sting you when you're handling it. So it's a species at risk based on its decline in its populations over the years, as designated by the Government of Canada through different regulatory agencies. Its main threat to the northern madtom is recognized as habitat destruction. So from dredging, shoreline armoring are the main things that they think has impacted the northern madtoms.
They're specifically designed around northern madtoms. They are cavity nesters, so they are cavernous in design. Each pod has 4 quadrants and 4 separate fish habitat locations, and there will be approximately a little over 30 of them going in total.
So they have a 2-inch opening that widens to a 6-inch cavern. That allows the madtom to get in there. It's protected by the cavern and allows them to protect at one front away from invasive species. These pods weigh about 95 pounds. They also have this groove on the top, which is going to help with water passing over them and not obstructing the flow. They also, some of them have a base plate on them, so if we're landing in a softer substrate, it should help with settlement and prevent them from sinking down, while others don't have a base plate, so they can land right onto a rocky substrate without settling down into the ground, but it allows for that natural substrate to end up in the habitat pod. This is important specifically to the northern madtoms because during a preliminary survey that we did to salvage fish out of the area of the seawall, we actually captured a northern madtom, which was a really surprising discovery. We didn't actually think that we'd find any in this area. So when we did, we kind of changed course, and instead of trying to create an enhancement that would just benefit fish in general, we tried to make something really specific to the northern madtoms because they really do need the help.
The habitat is permanent. They should be there for many, many years to come. It's unlike any other habitat that's ever been done before, so we're excited to see how it works in the future. In terms of the encapsulation, there's been a bunch of rock in different sizes, different specs that have been placed over by the tower itself, but the madtom habitats are not going in that specific area. They're actually going in a different area just further south.
Especially with this project, we have a lot of environmental obligations for this project, especially consider where we're located. We've got the Detroit River, we've got lots of sensitive habitat for many species at risk in this area, and obviously when you're building something of this size, and with that there's a lot of obligations that you have to meet. We've got a pretty robust environmental program that I think is probably incomparable to anything else that's going on in Canada.
There won't be a sign on the door. They are open to other fish to use, but a lot of fish in this area aren't really a cavity nesting type species, so we have that one thing going for us. So because they have this niche environment that they prefer, it makes it unlikely that other species will use these pods. Biodiversity in the river is really important just to maintain the health of the river. A really common example that we use when in construction is if we need the carpenters to show up, we need the iron workers to show up, everyone has to show up to work in order to make the project run properly. It's the same idea with ecology. If we start taking species out of that equation, the ecology of the river will decline and the river itself will become less healthy.
This really shows our commitment to protecting our natural environment. With that, we've got a lot of environmental obligations. Not too often do you actually get to put those in motion. It shows our commitment to showing that you can balance both our economic with a healthy environment.